A Christian example of this threshold space, so to say, comes to mind is Jesus being led into the wilderness, as you may know, where according to the story narrated in the Bible, he was tempted, or he was to be tempted by the devil in the desert prior to his crucifixion, basically. So his sojourn into the desert represents this liminal space, this dark night of the soul. He was there 40 days, according to the story, 40 days, 40 nights, starving, fasting, alone in the wilderness. Try to put yourself into those shoes. So 40 days in the underworld, so to say, of dark assumptions, confusion, and fear, and confronting your dragons, and extracting order out of chaos. Again, threshold space, dark night of the soul. In this regard, Carl Jung will say also interestingly, no tree can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell. Unless you go through the dark night, don't expect to reach light properly. It is for this reason that enlightenment is so rare, basically. Because who is willing to do that, to embark upon such a journey? That's ego death. That's basically the journey of ego death. And as we know in the Gita, Arjuna, for example, when Krishna is suggesting him, kill your false ego, and Arjuna said, I prefer to be killed by the Kurus, disarmed, without offering any resistance, that to go through the death that you are suggesting me to go, ego death. That's way more difficult and painful. In one sense, painful for our false sense of being. But we need to go there. There's no enlightenment without that. We need to be taught the language not only of ascending and transcending, but also the language of descending, a language that teaches us to enter willingly, trustingly into the dark periods of life, not being afraid of darkness. And of course, in those dark moments, in those liminal spaces, living and accepting our own reality will not feel very spiritual, very glorious, may feel more embarrassing and humiliating in many situations. It will feel like we are on the edges rather than dealing with the very cream or substance and essence of reality. And therefore, that's why most of us run from that and run toward more esoteric or dramatic postures instead of bearing the mystery of darkness, the mystery of God's presence in those dark nights. But again, we are invited to go there. Like Kunti Devi's famous prayer, Vipadas Antatasas Tatra Tatra Jagat Guru, and so on. He's asking to Krishna, throw me more difficulties. The more complex, the more liminal space I'm being thrown in, the more I upgrade my darshan of you, the more I found you through these difficulties. The more difficulties come, the better I see you, she's saying to Krishna. I have an upgraded darshan of you through darkness, through liminality.